Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
I went online to become a private detective. It was a private detective school online, and I paid online. I never heard from them again. I thought to myself, I either got ripped off, or this is my first case. This is a journalistic podcast, Shannon. We vaccinate our listeners with answers. And I'm going to keep lip-syncing the important questions until TikTok gives me a show. Shannon, how can the moon landing be real if the moon itself is fake?
That's not true, Mike.
Oh, isn't it true, Shannon? You're fake. You're a hologram.
1 in 5 New Yorkers are food insecure. What's your solution for that, Mike?
Fortune cookie. Because that's food and advice at the same time. Shannon, at least have the decency to backstab me, okay? You stab me in the front every time. Some fans can't watch the podcast because they're triggered by our sexuality. And message to those fans, we will leak a sex tape right into your mouth.
This is Mike Vecchione Investigates.
And you're not better than me. Welcome to another episode of Mike Vecchione Investigates, week 3 of the baby formula shortage. I was bathing in it when I popped up and ran down to this podcast, Shannon, and it's really something. Has it affected you?
No, it has not.
No, it has
Some
not.
of my friends, though.
Some of your friends refuse to breastfeed. They don't identify as mammals.
You're
Is
right.
that happening?
Yes, that's what's happening.
Well, it's the baby shortage is very real. I jumped up. I came down here. Shannon and I were texting on the way, and I usually don't text and walk because it's one of my pet peeves. And I got to bring in our guests on this one because I was just going to go to Shannon, but I need his insight into it. A very special guest today, comedian, guerrilla journalist, if I can label him that. I've known him for years. Dear friend, Adam Glyn is here.
Yes, what's up, buddy? Mike, thanks for having me. Shannon, good to see you. It's great to be
And
here.
Natalie's a person, too.
Hi, Natalie. How are you? She's okay. No mic, but that's
Okay.
good.
We don't let her have a mic yet, but
Good.
she can work her way up. It's she has to earn it.
Good.
We don't gift anybody anything here.
It's a hard industry. I get it.
It's speaking of hard, you have a heart out. So I know you're a busy man.
I'm busy,
I know you're
buddy.
moving and shaking and doing stuff. Now you're a guerrilla journalist because you worked for TMZ. You
Yeah, I
worked
worked for them for years, and then I run around doing these celebrity interviews on the street. I break stories. I make stories.
I
It's
see.
pretty
I
cool.
want that. This is what this is. This is an investigative podcast, and you're like a role model for me. Like I want to do that kind of stuff, except in studio. If I have to go on the street, I will go. But it's like I want that. I want guerrilla journalism.
It's some people call it ambush journalism for what I
No.
do. Some people call it paparazzi. I call it street journalism. There's really no difference to any of that. I just call myself a street journalist just because it looks better on my LinkedIn profile.
For the credibility,
Exactly.
for the street cred.
Exactly.
Is he a rapper? What's he doing? He's doing something dangerous?
Street journalist? What
he
is that?
carrying?
No, they don't know.
Yeah. Is it a gun? Is it a camera?
It's a camera.
People don't know that.
They
though.
don't know.
At least
They get
it's
scared.
It's very Biggie Tupac.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pick a side.
Biggie, East Coast.
Yeah, East Coast. All right. It's interesting though. It's interesting because you do guerrilla journalism, and that's more where we're leaning. Because you saw the intro.
I loved it.
We're a journalistic podcast. And
I
we
get it.
people on here, and like you know this, but other people don't. Who are great comics and great guests. They think it's a comic hang. Go to another podcast for that because it's an interrogation.
This is where you get the truth.
This is where you get the truth. We search for answers. Now, we were having some light banter on the way in. We go to the same gym. For those of you at home keeping score, we go to the same gym. And who can bench more? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. Who can plank longer? Beats me. But
Yeah.
no, go ahead.
No, I would
what
say
were you going to say? Were you going to make a case for
plank
yourself?
might be me, bench you,
Right.
pull-ups me, overall strength you.
I take issue with all of that. Every single thing you just said.
I thought this was the Truth Podcast.
Yeah, it was the Truth Podcast, but you really forced yourself out. You think you have a stronger core than me? Talk to our fans.
We'll let the listeners decide.
Okay, all right. Well, I noticed we were talking a little bit, and this is why I think I win in every category. No disrespect for you. You're younger, you're more handsome, you have a lot of things going for you, smarter probably. But in the gym, like we're out there talking, and I go, what's going on, man? How are you? And you go, good. And I go, I haven't seen you in the gym. You go, oh, I go to another gym. I go to another gym also. And you're wearing the
wearing
shirt
the
to kind of
shirt.
prove it. And it's like, I go to another gym. It's like, is that what you say when you're not going to the gym? Oh, I have a secret gym you don't know about. I have a secret gym. It's like, how many gyms do you go to, dude? If I don't see you in the gym and I'm in there getting it in and I don't see you, and then you go, instead of just going, look, I haven't been going to the gym, you go, I go to the secret gym. I go to the secret gym. And then you name dropped a couple people and the big stars are in that gym. It's like, wait a second, man. Wait a second. I mean, that's the first truth we have to get to. Is there a second gym?
There's a second
And what's
gym.
the reason for a second gym?
I have these friends that go to the gym. I like to work out with. They're good friends of mine. I don't have to pay for it, so it's a nice like bonus when I'm around. I'm able to use their gym.
Right.
It's good to mix it up a little bit. And some days I want to have access to a sauna. I go to the gym that we go to. Some days I want to go to a gym and work out with some buddies who I know. That's why I have this secret gym. It's pretty good.
Buddies who have Oscars. I'm going to go to the Oscar gym today, and then I'm going to go to the lowly gym, which our gym is high end that I go to. But in your mind, it's like I go to the famous gym, and then I could just go to the regular Wall Street. I guess we work out with Wall Street. We look like everybody looks like an Ivy League guy.
Everyone's wearing Patagonia. It looks like the Banana Republic Christmas party going on because everyone like kind of buddies.
But everybody's kind of big and ripped. They look like they played sports at an Ivy League school.
Isn't it right? They all look like they did definitely play like a sport, but not like your average. They all played like lacrosse. They're all lacrosse players.
Look at me in the eyes and tell. Am I too dumb to be there? Look at me. Am I too dumb to be there?
No, but you look like you got the PBA discount.
Right. It looks like yes. I look like a secret cop there, or my plumbing business had a good month.
I got a sick discount there, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm paying like it's an expensive. You go to a very nice gym.
Yes.
I'm paying $100 a month to use all of them, except like a few of them. But that's a really good discount.
But that's crazy. But that's because your interpersonal skills.
No,
and you're networking.
I was BSing with someone who kind of was like, "Hey, I could kind of get you in there," and then I've been like stuck at that deal. So I'm like afraid to leave because I have such a good deal there.
But what about? Do they feel betrayed when you go to the other higher status gym? I guess we can call it a higher status. I don't want to name drop some of the names that you said go to that gym. I don't want to say those names on there. Our fans will lose it.
Yeah, we won't talk about Martin Luther King
living at
Jr.
home.
or that go to the mic.
Yeah, but it's like you're working out your partners. Let's just say you're doing set. You go, okay, The Rock, it's your set. Dwayne, it's your. I just benched. It's you now. Get off your phone.
So,
do you call him Dwayne? Or do you go Rock?
But
Rock.
here's the thing. I actually saw The Rock, not at that gym, but I've seen The Rock at the gym before. Not at the one that we go to, another location, because the gym we go to is a nice chain. And I saw him at the gym. He was there working out. He wore a hoodie all over his face, like so you could not see his face. It was really weird. Like he wanted to be seen, but he was trying to work up a sweat and he wanted people to recognize him. He also had 2 bodyguards watching him as he worked out, and they were just there to make sure nothing would happen to him. Someone tried to take a photo of him, and the bodyguard walked up to the guy and said, "Hey, delete the photo. Let me see your phone." Made sure he deleted the photo, and just to make sure. I mean, it's a public gym, but they didn't want.
It's a public gym, but wouldn't he get a better workout if he wrestled the phone out of that person's hand? Isn't that part of the workout? It's like I'm wrestling the phone out of your hand. That's a good way to work up a sweat.
Cardio.
It's cardio. And were you that guy taking a photo of him and taking pictures of him?
No,
be
I
honest
wasn't.
with our fans.
I was not.
They're not smart, but they know if you're lying.
No, but what I did do, because I knew he was at the gym, someone tipped me off saying he was working out at the gym.
It was a tip-off?
It was a tip-off.
That's what we need to look for, Shannon, in this show. I'm sorry to interrupt you. We need more tip-offs. When is Ralph coming in? What is Lewis doing? It's like we need... They're the celebrities of Cast Digital. So is Big J around somewhere?
Oh,
you know
I was
what I
going
mean?
to say I could use The Rock tip-off. I would like those also.
Shannon loves The Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Everyone loves The Rock, but Shannon sexually loves The Rock.
Yeah, Vin Diesel doesn't love The Rock. They got into a big fight and they don't like each other.
They don't like each other.
No, they don't. But The Rock, it's funny. So someone tipped me off saying that The Rock was at the gym, and I ran to the gym wearing one of these Under Armour t-shirts, and I started doing biceps. I started working out really hard, really quick to get a sweat.
Right.
He saw me wearing his shirt that's like all blood, all no respect. I don't know, one of those like corny sayings that he has on those Under Armour shirts. He saw me. He's like, "Hey, good job," and gave me the fist bump.
Yes. Did he take this face mask off and his hoodie?
No,
how
he didn't.
How did he get through his bodyguards in order? Did you?
He was walking by.
If I was a bodyguard, I would stop the fist bump. I would go, no.
Yeah.
Not on my watch.
Don't touch him.
Don't touch him.
Yeah, he does have a mask on. No, but he just gave me a fist bump. That was it.
That's great. Is there something happening on my phone?
It's one of your phones, yeah. That's right. Adam doesn't have his phone, so yeah. I think it's Siri
It's not
talking?
mine.
I don't have my phone.
Okay, well,
It could be the government.
can't stop women from interrupting.
Yeah.
Siri. Okay, so that's a great story. And that's why we have you on for these that's a hot take.
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
a hot take, Shannon? Is that what kids are saying now?
I'd say that's a hot take.
That's a hot take. Where and this was a few days ago?
This was a while ago.
No.
This one was
Before The Rock was big.
Yeah. This is before. This is when he not when he was small. This is during the good days of him. This is
Okay.
recently.
Okay, it's recently.
Yeah.
I think that's a waste if you would have 2 bodyguards in there just making sure people stay away from you. How about one of them spots you? One of the bodyguards is also your personal trainer.
So I actually had the most, again, I deal with a lot of celebrities.
Yeah.
The celebrity I've dealt with that had the most bodyguards is Floyd Mayweather. Actually, Chuck Norris had when they were doing the Expendables 2, had probably about more than 10 bodyguards. But Floyd Mayweather always
What's
has...
the point of knowing karate if you have 10 bodyguards?
Well, here's the best part is I was trying to meet Chuck Norris because
Yeah.
he was he's like an enigma.
Yeah.
He's mysterious. Like you want to meet Chuck Norris.
Shannon, look up Enigma. Go ahead.
So I went up to him and I said, Chuck, I tried to get up to him and they wouldn't let me get close to him.
Right.
And I said, dude, what the fuck? Why can't I
Yeah.
get close to Chuck?
Because you go for a handshake, it becomes a wrist lock. And then it ruins his brand.
Yeah.
If you wrist lock and tap him out, it ruins his brand.
Yeah. Well, the bodyguard goes, you don't understand. People want to beat up Chuck Norris just so they could say they beat up Chuck Norris. I was like, oh my God, I get it.
Yes.
That's what he has to go through. That's
That's
his
really
life.
crazy. People want to beat up Chuck Norris. People want to say they beat
They don't
up
hate
Chuck
him.
Norris.
They just want to beat him up just so they could brag to people. Oh
Street
yeah, I beat him up.
credibility. Tweet it. Or have somebody film it. I would have somebody film. Yeah. Is that the thing? What do you think happened with Mike Tyson on the plane? This guy was just being a jerk. He was drunk, and Mike Tyson finally just punched him in the face a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And that guy just wanted to be like, yeah, I fought. I was in a fight. I participated in a fight. I lost. I didn't throw a punch back, but I participated in a fight with Mike Tyson.
I would think so. I think the guy thought he was going to become friends with Mike Tyson. That's not the way to do it. He was obviously, allegedly he seemed belligerent.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was all his fault. Mike Tyson was completely
definitely
innocent.
his fault. With that said, Mike didn't get really good punches. If you saw, he was giving jab type punches, to settle him down.
Yeah.
And then in my opinion, as a journalist, as two journalists speaking,
Two journalists
speaking, I think that there was no charges pressed at the time. However, I think lawyers approached the victim, the guy, and said, "Hey, we'll work with you for free just to sue Mike Tyson, just because we know we could get paid out of this." So he's getting free legal. Somebody approached him just to, it's a money grab.
That's an insane thing. That's an insane thing that the guy's allowed to sue Mike Tyson for that. Mike Tyson was well within his rights to punch that guy in the
100%.
face. And I think if it goes to court and he loses, which he should, I think that guy should have to pay all the legal expenses. He should have to pay for all of
You're
them.
right, but the problem is we'll see if he has money. But, were they in first class? So the guy, I have to imagine Mike Tyson being first class, maybe business at least. Did he have the money to pay for that seat? Because I don't know, from the video, again, we might have to pull up the video, but it seemed like he was sitting by himself. I didn't know if there was anybody sitting next to him.
Yeah.
But
Are you kind of taking over the podcast now? I feel that because you're we might have to look at the video and you kind of eyed Shannon. It's should Shannon be queuing up this video right now?
After this break, when we come back, guys, yeah.
But let's go to that video if we can, Shannon, of Mike Tyson.
What is happening in there? Is that you, Mike?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Something went wrong. Please try again. She must be listening to the podcast. Sorry, I'm putting my phone over here now so that she's out of harm's way. It's probably because she's in my pocket so close to my you-know-what. Right?
Oh, wait, I missed it. It'll be in there in post.
It's, okay.
Hey.
Oh, he's from behind.
Hey, Mike, come on. Let's go stop back. Let's do the horse, man. Come on. Hey. Hey, Mike, come on. Let's go stop back.
Okay, that guy was behind him.
Yeah, he was behind him,
Yeah.
and that looks like first class.
Yeah.
It's definitely like a first class. So the guy has some sort of money.
The guy has some money, but sometimes you just have to do the right thing, and the right thing is to take your beating. You were a dick. Take your beating and just go about your life. You have the story. You shouldn't have been doing that in the first place. You shouldn't. I really have a problem with that, where you're getting celebrities to fight you.
I got actually a good Mike Tyson story. One day, I knew his publicist, and he was going to Sirius Radio. It was early morning one day, and Mike Tyson's going in, and there's probably about 20 kids with autographs. Not kids, like these are professional autograph hounds trying to get Mike to sign, and they surround him. Mike, can you sign? Mike, can you sign? He's like, stop. No, I'm not going to sign. Mike, can you sign? No, I'm going to sign. Mike, come on. They're throwing in his face, and all of a sudden Mike goes, get the fuck away from me. And everyone, he's like, get away from me. He gets in the stands, like, back up. And he gets into the stand, like, back up. And everyone's like, oh. And I was like, oh my God, Mike's about to go Mike. And everyone backed up.
Yeah.
And people got nervous that he was going to go crazy. And the publicist, I had it on video, and the publicist saw me, and she goes, oh, you cannot do anything with that video. And I'm like, she's like, you cannot, you cannot. This is so bad. I go, well, Mike's got to do my voicemail. And she's like, fine. He'll do your voicemail. Because it'll be so funny. People call me, they, hey, this is Mike Tyson. Adam can't get to the phone right now. But sorry, Mike, I didn't want to do impression. That's not a good Mike. But so that's what he was supposed to do.
All right.
And I deleted the clip. He came out. He didn't do my voicemail. They screwed me over. But it would have been a great video of Mike going, like, back to punch these people, like, who are bothering him. It was so funny. It was amazing.
That's really great. And but I do get that. I do get that the rage from people, like, they keep coming when you tell them, like, please stop. You're a person too on the other side.
It's in your face. They're aggressive too.
I love the Floyd Mayweather. I love Floyd Mayweather. He always has like 9 bodyguards around him, and another guy who can fight.
Yeah,
and will fight if pushed. But it's like so he probably has the same thing where people are trying to start a fight with him.
So yeah, Floyd's. I'm actually very cool. I'm trying to I'm supposed to meet them later today.
Get out.
Yeah, that's why I got to run out.
Oh my God.
Floyd, but Floyd is funny because
he's unbelievable, man.
Unbelievable.
He's
the way
so
he
great.
rolls is insane.
I don't know about his personal life, but I don't think people say he gets too much credit. I think he doesn't get enough credit for how good of a boxer he was. He's unbelievable. And people are like, well, he doesn't knock people out. It's like, you don't know what you're watching. What you're watching is just, he's a master. It's a masterpiece. Great. I mean, it's just unbelievable. He fought Juan Manuel Marquez, who, fought Pacquiao like 4 times, knocked him out the one time the last time, but the fights were very, very close. And he did not win a round. Canelo did not win a round against Mayweather.
He fought Canelo when Canelo was, 21, 22, when he was very young. Yeah. Granted,
but he was 40.
Correct. But Floyd has always been amazing. He's a defensive fighter. He's not the most exciting guy, but
he was early in his career. He was.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But then as he got older, he got more defensive and better. But he would still, like, if you would give ground, he would walk you down. Like he was like great. Really knew what he was doing.
But not even just on the boxing level, just on the promotion level. I mean, he knew what he was doing. He would be the bad guy, and that's what people want to see. Yeah. He gets it. It's crazy the way he's made a lot of money. It's crazy how he spends money, but that's his brand. I mean, he's got 2 private jets. He's got, when he rolls around, he's got probably about 6 bodyguards with him. Wow. And the crazy part is, you say it about Floyd. It's like, if you're Floyd's bodyguard, can't Floyd beat up his own bodyguards? These are big guys, but Floyd could probably beat the shit out of him.
All right, guys, I want to take a second to talk about our friends over at rockauto.com. Hey there, auto mechanics and super cool do-it-yourself guys who work on their own cars. I want to tell you about rockauto.com, the online store with every auto part at the best prices. This is your one-stop shop for everything auto parts. RockAuto.com has been in business for 20 years, and they make it easy to find the parts you need at the best possible prices. No more talking to counter guys who need to order your parts, aren't really sure what you're looking for, never have quite what you need, and then after all the hassle will still charge you storefront markups. At RockAuto.com, you can easily find everything you need, and whether you're a mechanic, an auto shop, or working on your own car, everyone has access to the same incredible pricing at RockAuto.com. So if you're a car guy, right now go to RockAuto.com and check out all the parts available for your car. You're going to have so much fun looking at car parts. So once again, go to RockAuto.com. No promo code needed as their pricing is already that good. When you order, make sure to tell RockAuto.com that you heard about them on Mike Vecchione Investigates. RockAuto.com. All right, guys, let's get back into it. This is kind of off topic, but you did say, I want to pose this to you, and I want Shannon to weigh in also. It's like I'm walking down the street, and I see this guy. He's bigger than me, way bigger. Shannon, like 6'5", I would say, your type. And Shannon hates the short people. And I'm walking down the street, and this guy, I've seen this a lot in New York, and I don't take political sides of COVID. I'm just, whatever we're doing, I'm fine. Whatever. So I'm not on a political side of it. But this guy's walking down the street, nobody around him. mask on. Maybe not 6'5", maybe 6 foot, 6'1", but walking around with a mask on, young, like muscles in shape. And so I'm thinking to myself, this guy technically should be able to beat me to a pulp. Really, he should, physically. But because you're wearing a mask with no one around you, and if we got into an altercation, could I beat you up? Could I beat you up? I feel like if I get past a couple of punches and I land one on you, you're going to need to go see 4 doctors before you strike back. Is that a real thing, or am I crazy?
I would agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, does it make you feel like, oh, if this guy, I could probably take this guy that I normally wouldn't be able to take, but just because he's wearing a mask with no one around him, assuming that he has no health problems, I would have to say, oh, this guy is...
Yeah. No, I know, seeing you at the gym, and just knowing this guy sounds like one of the guys who goes to our gym,
right?
I think you could probably take him. He was probably like a guy, he played lacrosse, didn't get too much action. He goes to the gym, probably on his cell phone most of the time, just texting.
Do you hate that? I hate that.
I hate that.
But that's not too bad at our gym.
It's not bad.
Not too bad at our gym.
Our gym is like ripped preppy guys, or just jacked gay guys.
Yes.
Where it's like somehow gay guys are fucking ripped.
Monsters. They're shredded. And I just don't like when people they're on a machine and they're sitting on the machine and then they do a set and then they're on their phone and then they do another set eventually. I don't love that.
I don't like when they do 2 machines at the same time.
Yeah. It's like let me work in. They're like I'm on it. It's like you can't be on everything.
It gets weird.
Yeah.
It gets weird. What time? I mean, I try to go when it's not too busy, but
yeah, I think 3-4 is good. Because it's before the rush, and then I take a steam. I have a whole process.
Yeah.
I do a weight circuit. What is the process? I think our fans want to know. I do a weight circuit, and then it's pretty intense. I try to keep it cardio. I do a stretch, and then some kind of run or something, and then I go to the locker room. I do a steam, and then I'll shave, do a cold shower, and then out.
Love it.
Yeah. What's your process?
Get there always.
If The Rock isn't present.
If The Rock's not, I have a pair of sneakers that are only indoor gym sneakers. Put those sneakers on. It's part of, that's part of the headspace. Stretch for about 7 minutes, then a dynamic warm up, and then I'll do strength.
What's
build.
a dynamic workout?
It's more
a dynamic warm up.
Warm up. It's doing a lot of band work. For shoulders, bands for the shoulders, and then bands for the legs, and then I'll do. Usually strength build, and then I'll finish up with stretch. Not really cardio. Usually 1 day a week of hard cardio.
Right.
But then strength, and then again end it with a 10-minute stretch, and then sauna, cold shower, sauna, shave, sauna, cold shower, out.
Wow. How long total?
I will be there for probably about an hour and 40 after everything. After everything's done, hour and 40.
Me too, probably. I mean, the whole workout should be an hour, a little over with the stretching, but then the steam and all that. And if I don't have time to steam and shit, I'll just get a shower and get out.
Do you shower more at the gym than you do at home?
Yeah.
Me too.
But that's a good sign. That means you're at the gym more.
Yeah.
And not at some secret gym that you made up to impress your friend.
Yeah. Wait, did I tell you this? But speaking of Floyd Mayweather, did I tell you I don't think you know. Did you know I started the biggest fight in fight history? Well, if I started Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor.
Did you really?
I started that fight. UFC 205, Conor McGregor wins. He wins in the first round. It's at Madison Square Garden. Everyone talks about Conor McGregor. Internet goes crazy. Conor McGregor's in New York. He's this huge star. Sunday, everyone talks about Conor. Monday, everyone talks about Conor. Tuesday, Floyd is shopping the Diamond District. And I go, Floyd, let's do a video on Conor. He goes, all right, ask me, team me up. All right. I put the camera up. I go, Floyd. And I was with TMZ at the time. I go, Floyd, what do you think about Conor McGregor's performance? He goes, never compare an elephant to an ant. He's never did the things I did. And just basically, takes away all the steam from Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Just like that, everyone starts talking about Floyd Mayweather. Like, man, Floyd still got it.
Yeah.
The next day, Conor McGregor is still in New York, and I knew that he was at this restaurant in Hell's Kitchen, and right down the street from Broadway Comedy Club. Weirdly enough, this old country some random restaurant. I go, hey, Conor, Floyd said never compare an elephant to an ant. What do you think about this? He goes, tell him to say it to my face. And he goes, he said he could beat you. He goes, do you believe him? Which gets the internet talking. Internet's like,
wow.
The next day, I get Floyd talking more smack about Conor, and then then the next day I get Dana White talking smack about Floyd, which got the internet talking, which created like, hey, let's get this super fight. And it started to gain a lot of momentum, which created the biggest fight in fight history. So I made these guys a lot of money, and all I got was a souvenir t-shirt. But I did go out to Vegas for the fight, and that was kind of cool.
That's unbelievable. Yeah. That's so great.
And,
Shannon,
and they credited me for that too, by the way. They credited me for starting the fight.
Shannon, how can we get the internet talking? I mean, we've done this thing about baby formula. I've done it for 3 episodes in a row now. Week 3 of the baby formula shortage. But babies aren't on the internet, it seems, and they're not creating a buzz. They're crying and doing a number 2 in their pants, and then their like heads aren't stable, so they can't get on the internet. We need to do what Adam did.
Adam has the answer.
Adam has the answer. We need to start. Should we start beefs with people?
Controversy is good.
Controversy is great. And that fight was amazing.
It was fun.
Well, it was a fun fight, but I think that, no disrespect to Conor, I think Conor's great, but I think that it was all on Floyd.
Oh, sure.
Because it's like the people who thought that was actually, and Conor's like can fight.
Yeah.
But like not at a pro level. So it's like it was all on Floyd to make that fight, number 1, competitive, and then also to like win in shocking manner, you know what I mean? Like
he made it a show.
But yeah, he made it a show. But like the way he, people think that it was competitive or whatever, but the way Floyd fought, you've never seen him fight like that. I've never seen him just cover up and then just start walking slowly. He's never fought any of his fights.
No, it was actually...
So the way he fights exhibitions, again, no disrespect to Conor, is way different than he fought competitively.
You're 100% right. When he does these exhibition fights, like he knows what he's doing. He doesn't use up all of his energy.
Right.
He kept his elbows in. He guarded himself.
Yes.
And Conor, he was exhausted. He was drained.
Right.
And the best part
because
is...
in Conor's defense, he's not a boxer.
No.
Not that it's an MMA fight. Floyd gets tapped out easily. You know what I mean? So you understand that. But he's in Floyd's world. He's in Floyd's domain.
One of the funniest videos, well, a great video, is with after I think it was that first round, he goes back to his corner and he starts going to everyone. He says, "Hey, thank you, Uncle." Starts thanking everyone. He's like, "Oh, I got this, guys. Like, we're good." Like he knew he had him. He's like, "Yeah, he's not gonna be able to last. Like, I'll just." He puts on a show. It's an exhibition.
Yes.
That's what it was. It was it was America's first exhibition boxing match.
But everybody got everything they wanted out of it. Like the Floyd fans were like, he knocked him out, and then the Conor fans the MMA fans were like, he went 10 rounds with him, man. It's like it was very close. It's like up to 10 rounds. I think Conor was winning the fight. Like they were going that way.
Yeah.
So it's like that's all orchestrated by Floyd.
Yeah.
So I have to say, and the trash talk on both of their parts was leading up to the fight was amazing.
It was a great. It was a show.
Amazing. He stole his hat. And he did this. They're talking about just the things that Floyd said, and then Conor's back and forth. Like, I mean, it just makes for millions and millions of dollars.
Great stuff. It was fun.
Unbelievable. And you started that whole
I started
thing.
that fight. I have video of Floyd thank me. He goes, basically for thanking me for starting the fight. Conor thanked me. I was with Conor in September.
Right.
This was right after the VMAs. That's the last time I saw him. This was after the VMAs, after he just got into the altercation with Machine Gun Kelly at the Video Music Awards. Remember MTV? Remember they're on the red carpet, the MTV Music Awards. Something happened where I guess Machine Gun really rubbed Conor McGregor the wrong way, and Conor either went to throw something at him or kicked him. I forgot what exactly went down, but it was a big story. And this is actually funny. I haven't talked about this. That night, I knew it was a huge story. I was like, oh man, I got to find Conor McGregor. Right. I started driving around New York City. I went by this one hotel, and the one hotel's, by luck, this guy comes out of the hotel and he's like, I'm going to tell Conor, never stay here again. This place is a dump. You should be taking better care of me. And I'm like, wait, Conor McGregor? Who's this guy? And then I'm like, hey, man, what's your deal? And he's like, they don't have my car here. I'm trying to get to Catch to meet Conor McGregor. I'm like, oh, I could drive you. And the guy's like, what? You'll take me? It was Conor McGregor's nutritionist. So I drove the nutritionist to the restaurant Catch in New York City, meatpacking. Wow. And luckily, I found the restaurant where he was at. Conor comes out at 2 a.m, and he had a few drinks in him. Like he was feeling saucy, and he was in a good mood. That
doesn't sound like Irish people.
Yeah, right? He had some proper 12 in him. Right. So I tried to talk to him, and Conor was like just laughing, having fun. He jumps in the car, And I tried to film him, and he's like, "Look, Mike." He's like, "I don't want." I don't want to do an interview right now. I'm doing a bad Conor impression. He's like, "I don't want to talk to you right now." He goes, "Obviously, I had a few to drink." He's like, "How about you meet me tomorrow? Come on, meet me tomorrow. I'm gonna be leaving like 4:30." And he tells me where to meet him. I'm like, "All right, let's do it tomorrow." That time, the next day, Conor McGregor comes out. I met him at 4:30. He was super cool, super nice. Gave me the interview more. He even said, he goes, "Let me take a photo with you." He goes, "You're always shooting me. Let me take a photo with you." Takes a photo with us, me and my friend, and I had like a 6.5 minute interview with him on the street. I mean, it's Conor McGregor, and it was great. We addressed his future in MMA. We addressed how he's feeling because he had a bad injury. We also addressed the Machine Gun Kelly incident, and I was able to kind of put out that fire and actually make him look pretty decent.
Would you brand it? I'm trying to learn from you. Would you brand the Machine Gun Kelly incident and Conor McGregor Irish on Irish crime? Is that how you would sell it?
I think that's...
The Irish are beefing now. Look at these Irish.
Battle of the potatoes.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way of going. That's, if we want to get the internet talking.
Celebrity Irish, what do you think? What do you think, internet? Can Conor choke out a machine gun? Machine Gun Kelly is a great nickname, by the way.
It's a great name.
It's
Colton.
his
His real name's Colton.
That's a great name.
That's a cool name.
Colton is great. Named after a gun?
Yeah, Colton. Machine Gun Kelly.
Not that we're glorifying guns here. We don't do that on this podcast. Colton, Machine Gun Kelly is an unbelievable, because it's like, is this guy going to go to a speakeasy? Is he going to go to the red carpet? Like, we don't know what he's doing. It's such an old school gangster name. It's
a great name.
Yeah.
And stuck with him. He's had it for years.
Right.
He's had an interesting career. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Decent guy. Interesting career.
Interesting career. Machine Gun Kelly, Conor McGregor. So, but the Floyd thing really, because I'm a huge boxing fan.
Yeah, I know you are.
And so the Floyd thing really is a big deal. Like, I know I think he bought a place in Aruba. Did you hear that?
Was it an island maybe, or I don't even know. But when he does, like, I think he just had when he does his birthday, he does like a week of birthday parties. And he gets paid for some of them because like someone throws a party, but it's like a week of birthday parties. And then he'll do one, like a trip, and he flies all his friends down there. I mean, it's like, you're talking about like a lot of people. He's flying down there to party with them. It's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty
amazing. And the most amazing thing is that that gets lost on him is, number one, his work ethic when he was training is just unbelievable. His work ethic was crazy.
Yeah.
So that's number one. His work ethic was nuts. Not just unbelievable, supreme talent, but his work ethic was crazy. And also, never drank.
Never did
drugs.
Yeah.
Never did. So he's having these parties where he's buying bottles for people, but he's drinking club soda.
Yeah.
He never drank.
I've dealt with him a lot, and the way he rolls is insane. Like, he'll play basketball, but I know his bodyguards pretty decently, pretty well, and they're nice guys. I not at first. When I first started doing what I did, which was more than 10 years ago now, like 12 years ago, they hated me. It was a different Floyd. It was a different time. Now they got to know me. They know what I do. If Floyd's not into it, they'll tell. Like, it's a good relationship now. But we're friends. Like,
and you're a good guy. Like, you're not going to say something and then do the opposite. Like, you're upfront with what you do, and I think a lot of people need to know that. It's like they think that you're maybe duplicitous, or you're just trying to get like whatever you can get. It's like, not you. What you do is you'll say what you're going to do and then do it. You're not going to do anything that you don't say.
I'm trying to develop a relationship with these people and stuff. So Floyd knows my deal. Like, there's been times where Floyd's like, "Hey, not today." I'm like, "All right, no worries." Like, I'll put my camera on bag and walk away, because he'll always get me another time. The team is good to me. It actually saves me time. If he says he's not into it, rather wait 2 hours and try to make him do it. I mean, I remember I was in Miami, and he had I got him at his hotel. He's like, "Dude, just come to my birthday party tonight. I'll talk to you at my birthday party." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I didn't have to waste my time. I went to the birthday party that night. He gave me an interview, and I was able to do very, very well with it. But
what was the birthday party like? Was it cake everywhere? What was the cake like?
I didn't see there was cake, but there was unless cake.
How are you having a birthday party with no cake?
So many women.
Is that the new?
Is
that the new thing? Having a birthday party with no cake?
Yeah.
You show to a birthday party with no cake. Are cakes apps now? Is all of this Bitcoin? What is going on? Like, have things changed this much? And the digital, what are the kids doing now?
Yeah, they don't.
That's fire. It's like, is there still I don't know if there's a cake or not. You're saying it's fire. You're saying it's lit.
Yeah, remember now they used to give you like giveaway bags, or what was it, like after birthday parties? Yeah. Now they give you NFTs. Is that what kids do?
Oh my God, I just don't know what's happening with the economy.
Wow.
Everything's electronic. Everything. All these kids are saying words that I don't really get. You know,
that
but you
real
have
money?
you have your finger on the pulse of things. So no birthday cake.
No
and
birthday cake. A lot of
women.
women. A lot of women.
Yeah.
The women are insane. The women he rolls with, and it's crazy because like I've seen him travel with like a massage therapist.
Yeah.
Where he'll play basketball at midnight, and like he'll rent out a court, play it at midnight. They open the gym just for him, and he's playing with his bodyguards and friends, and then he'll sit down and there's a massage therapist just massaging his head. Like that's just
A
the way he rolls.
phrenologist? I think that's what it's called. Shannon, can we check that? A phrenologist.
Phrenologist, is that?
That's somebody who feels your head and then tells you your future.
Wow,
I don't know what that is.
that's interesting.
We're looking it up now. Phrenologist. The detailed study of the shape and size of your cranium as opposed to indicated of character and mental abilities. So it's like you massage the head and you could tell them what their IQ is. I don't really understand this, Shannon. Maybe I need a head massage.
You feel like the bumps on the skull to supposedly predict mental traits.
Oh,
It's a pseudoscience.
okay. So it's kind of a science.
Yeah.
So I feel your head and I go, your favorite color is green.
Yes.
You love blondes. It's interesting.
I need one of those. I gotta try that. out.
So he gets a head massage.
Head
This is how
massage?
these guys live.
Yeah.
Basketball at midnight, rent out a gym, head massager nearby.
It's funny. The bodyguards have told me like it's such a tough job to be his bodyguard.
Why? Because he's on. You have to always be on call.
Exactly. He's not one of those guys he's not a normal sleep schedule.
Right.
Like he'll just say, all right, I'm gonna go for a run at 2:33 in the morning, and he does do that. And I ran with him when he was fighting Conor McGregor. If you remember, he was doing a tour. They went to Toronto. They went to I think Chicago, L.A., New York. They were doing like a press conference in every single city, and it was just getting crazier and crazier. Them talking smack to each other.
Right.
And so they would do the press conference, and they'd fly to the next city that night. So the next day they would do that press conference. So when he came to New York, I think he did Toronto. And then I think he did Toronto, and Drake was at that one. And Drake was like supporting Conor McGregor, maybe, if I remember, because it was a few years ago. But he came to New York. He got there at midnight, and then he just went for a run at 2:30 in the morning. Like he just landed in New York. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go for a run. Actually, he's like, all right, I want to run with the champ. So I actually ran with him. I have video of me running with him.
Wow.
For like just for a few blocks because he was running at a good speed. But it's just like, that's just what he does. He's just insane with his training. Like he's very, very disciplined, which I don't think people give him the credit.
They don't give him the credit. They'd rather dial into that in money all the time. It's money. It's like, yeah, but this guy's he's maybe the best boxer. So it's like, how does he trains incessantly.
all the time. I mean, his diet, I don't know how his diet is based on what I've seen on social. I think it's going to be a little bit, he eats whatever he wants.
Right, he eats what he wants, yeah.
He's very active. Like he bikes, he always likes to go, when he's in Miami, I know, even New York, he always likes to just go for bike rides, which is the most insane thing because when he goes for bike rides, he has all his bodyguards and his whole crew on bikes. So you're talking about like 15 people on bikes. So it's like a circus wherever they go. Even when they drive around New York City, it's about 4 Escalades. They all have the money team written all over it. And that's how he rolls. Like that's just, it's a circus wherever he goes.
Right. But he lives in Vegas.
He lives in Vegas.
Yeah.
I guess and that's probably for, yeah, I mean, there's good gyms there. He has a gym and tax reasons, probably.
Yeah.
He's got a huge place.
That's pretty unbelievable.
All those cars.
I mean, someday we'll
Best
be there.
ever?
Best ever. I'd say he's one of them, man. He's up there. I mean, he's best of our generation, I think. Just he fought kind of everybody, and I think at the time.
We got Triple G and Canelo coming back in
Triple
September.
G and Canelo coming back. So that's going to be
Is that too old, though? Is that too late?
It may be too late for Triple G. But, I think Canelo's great, but the scoring on the Canelo fights is pretty crazy. Like, Triple G beat him the first time. 8 rounds to 4, they call that a draw. This is the way that Canelo fights are scored. And I understand because he's a big name, but there has to be some kind of like objectivity in boxing, and there's not. It's a wildly corrupt sport. So, if you beat Canelo 7 rounds to 5, if you're fighting Canelo, you beat him 7 rounds to 5. The judges will call it 7 rounds to 5 for him. They'll go 115, 113 Canelo. If you beat Canelo 8 rounds to 4, they'll call that a draw. You have to beat Canelo 9 rounds to, we learned from this last fight with Bivol, you have to beat Canelo 9 rounds to 3 in order to win the fight 115, 113, which is 7 rounds to 5. So if you have to win 9 rounds to beat him, basically.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
It's insane.
It's insane. It's not right. And now they're saying this David Benavidez just won a big fight over the week, beat David Lemieux, and he's next in line to fight Canelo at 168, and he's a dangerous guy. Very, very tough. So, but the WBC just came out with a thing. I didn't really read into it that much, but saying that they will not force the mandatory because Canelo is the franchise champion at 168, which means, I don't know, like you have to have people. I like it much better the way that Dana White does it.
Yeah.
Where he's the guy, he makes the fights. And then if you have stars, there's stars. But if Conor McGregor is injured or John Jones is out because of personal problems, or it's just like next man up. And when and then they stack the card. So it's like you're developing the sport that way. You still have stars, but they're not. I mean, it's the organization is bigger than the individual.
100%.
I love that. That's
great.
much, much better.
It's smart. It's a great business model.
Right.
You know, it's if me and you were filthy, if we had a lot of money, we could essentially,
which is coming.
It's soon, especially after this episode.
Right.
If we could make our own belt and say, hey, we're going to pay Triple G and Canelo, we're going to pay them to fight. And we're going to say this is for the Vecchione Glyn belt.
Yeah.
You know, that's just what boxing is. There's no league. It's just all these belts are kind of BS. It's just, it's not real. It's just people fight promoters. And just
But these licensing bodies are corrupt. You know, these promoters, for the most part, I mean, I like Eddie Hearn, but
he's doing a good job.
He does a good job, I think. And I like, but for the rest of them, it's like, PBC, they don't let anybody fight outside their stable, which is crazy. And I love Mayweather as a fighter, but as a promoter, they're not letting Tank fight anybody else.
Did you hear what happened? Tank has left Floyd Mayweather Promotions.
Yes, I heard
I don't know the story, but
he's going to stay
left.
with Showtime, though,
Yeah.
which I don't understand the move there. It's like, it's Al Heyman is behind all that. So he's the guy behind PBC and Showtime boxing. So it's like they're not letting anybody fight outside of their stable. So it's like, how... Floyd as a fighter never would have tolerated that. He's like, I'm fighting the best guys. That's the way that it is. I mean, he wanted to make money, and he did make money. But, I mean, it's just like, how do you restrict a guy like Tank, who's unbelievable, from fighting Lomachenko? People want to see that fight. People want to see him fight Teofimo. People want to see him fight Lomachenko. They want to see these fights.
And we want to see him fight during their prime.
It's not till they're old. It's like, I get it. It's like we're trying to milk the money. It's like... If they learn anything from that Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, which is
brutal.
Mayweather, what really happened there, and you correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't want to turn this into a boxing thing because we have fans from other tuning in for comedy, but it's Floyd got the blame for that delay, and it wasn't his fault. He just said at the time he knew everybody was doping, which people are now, and he goes, okay, anybody who fights me has to take an Olympic-style drug test, not just VADA testing, but an Olympic-style drug test. Blood, hair, you have to take it all. And Manny was like, no, I'm not doing that. So Floyd's like, we're not fighting.
Yeah.
From my understanding of it.
No,
and
you're
it
right.
just went on and on. And then Manny found God or became whatever, and then decided to, okay, I'll do it. And then he did it, and that's how the fight happened. But before that, I think Floyd would have fought him before that. He's like, okay, all my opponents have to do this. You have to take these tests. And he was just like, I'm not doing that. And Floyd was like, then we don't have a fight.
It's wild.
I don't know what to tell you. And that's why it got delayed. Now, it got delayed 5 years. They saw the money just pile up. Like the money got insane. It's the biggest fight in history. So it's like, oh, that's a lesson. Don't fight when you're supposed to fight. Fight 5 years after that, and you'll make more money.
Yeah.
It's a bad lesson. It's bad for the fans.
It's bad for the fans.
But that's what it is. It's bad for everything. It's like no other sport has to do that. Like in football, you're the Rams. You play the NFC Championship game. You beat the Bucks, and then you go, we're gonna take some time, spend it with our family, and we might go down in like a year and play the Dolphins. It's like, what? You got it. The Super Bowl's in 2 weeks now. You just made the Super Bowl. You have to fight. You have to play whoever's in the Super Bowl on the other side. They go, no, we're going to go in another direction. We're going to take some time off to spend with our families, and then we're going to go play the Dolphins. Like, Dolphins aren't even in the playoffs. Like, we need a tune-up fight to get back after a year late. It's like, come on, dude. What are we doing?
It's the best way of
the
looking at
Tyson
it.
Fury thing, where it's like, he beats, who did he just beat?
I mean, that was...
That guy, Dillian White, who's a tough
guy.
He beat Dillian White, and
Beat him well.
hats off to him.
Yeah.
He beat him, and he knocked him out. But then he goes, okay, I'm going to retire. It's like, well, then you're not one of the, like, the WBC, like, they have to dump you, and the show must go on. You can't still be the WBC champ and retire. Like, if you're retired, you're retired. But then you're not the best in boxing history because you haven't fought AJ. You haven't fought these what's his name, AJ. You haven't fought him, and you haven't fought Usyk. It's like there's two guys on the other side who have the belts who you haven't fought.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm going to retire now. It's like, okay. But, like, why? And these guys fighting once a year or once every two. It's like, and I get it. I've never been in the ring. I'm not, like, I understand it. But it's like, I just like the MMA model more, where it's like the UFC, where it's like, yeah, they slate you and they tell you to go, and that's what it is. Now, at the upper ends, do those guys deserve more money? I don't know. I'm not tuned into the finances there. But I think it just makes for better cards and better fights.
I agree with you 1,000%.
Well, I'm sorry I went on a rant there, guys, but I think about this stuff a lot. And, all right, 43 minutes in. Let's go to some plugs, Shannon.
1 second. Okay.
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only. Always be closing. Always be closing.
I'm gonna have Heidi lick some caviar off my balls in the meantime.
This guy is a wrecking machine. And he's hungry.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for your downloads. Thank you for your 5-star ratings and reviews. Thank you for tuning into the YouTube premiere every Monday at 9 p.m. We enjoy having you there. We love all the comments, all the feedback. Please continue to support your boy, Mike Vecchione, as he continues to investigate. Please check out my schedule, MikeVecchione.com for dates. Shannon, could you bring it up? Also, at Comic Mike V on all social media platforms. I will be I got a full summer schedule now, it seems. Minnesota, this will be too late for this podcast. But Chicago Zanies, I just booked July 1st and 2nd. Chicago fans, please come out. I love that club. Edmonton, Alberta, House of Comedy, or the Comic Strip in Edmonton, Alberta, July 7th through 10th. And then I go overseas for the Troops, Armed Services Entertainment, August 3rd through the 10th, Italy and Turkey. Winnipeg at Rumors Comedy Club, August 30th through September 3rd. And then Skankfest, October 14th through 16th. Guys, please, if you're in any of those cities, come out and see me and support your boy. MikeVecchione.com. I will always update my dates there. If you're in New York City, I'm usually at The Stand, the Comedy Cellar, Broadway Comedy Club, Gotham. So, that's it for me. Adam, what do you got?
Yeah, you can find me at Adam Glyn on Instagram, TikTok. If you check out my YouTube, I got all my celebrity interviews I see on the street. I was just with Ricky Gervais, John Cena, and just a whole bunch more. I have a podcast called The Hollywood Raw, where we reveal the fourth wall of Hollywood. We get celebrities, paparazzi, some of the Hollywood insiders, where we get some dirt on what's really going on. Wow. And thank you for having me, Mike.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. This has been a good conversation.
Yeah.
We strayed off a little into boxing there, but I have some heavy opinions about it. Shannon, what do you got?
You can follow me on Instagram at ShannonLee6982. Listen to my podcast, The Thing Is, Ding. We talk about bad dates, fighting, and ghosts. And wherever you listen to Mike Vecchione Investigates, you can also watch it live for free every single Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern at gasdigitalnetwork.com/live. That's absolutely for free, but the best way to support the show is to go to gasdigitalnetwork.com, use promo code MVI. That'll give you a 1-week free trial, which gives you access to every single episode of Mike Vecchione Investigates that we've ever done, as well as every single episode of every show on the Gas Digital Network, all for free for 1 week. If you listen on iTunes or YouTube or any other platform, make sure to rate, review, and tell a friend. Go to podcastmerch.com for t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs. And if you have your own questions, comments, or a video investigation to submit, send it in to MikeVecchioneInvestigates@gmail.com. That's it.
Guys, we don't have Adam for very long. He's got a heart out. He's got to go. He's got bigger fish to fry, and he's got to get out of here. But I don't want to let him leave without getting to some articles, because I want to see how a pro deals with it. Shannon, let's bring up our first one. A couple with busy life gets married after 60-year engagement.
Busy people.
And I do. 6 decades in the making. A British couple finally tied the knot a staggering 60 years after they got engaged. Thank you, Shannon. I thought it was an eye test for a second. Alex Hamilton, 90, wed longtime fiancée Jane, 89, in a ceremony held in Clackensmanshire. That sounds racist and hilarious. Scotland, on Saturday, with the bride using an electric wheelchair to make her way down the aisle. Usually this is the age people are thinking about funerals, the couple's daughter, Sally McDonald, 59, told Southwest News Service. But this was a major celebration, and it really was beautiful. Alex and Jane met back in 1956 and instantly fell in love, but the pair were both married to other people at the time, and both were parents to young children. They waited 6 years to leave their respective spouses and finally get together. Alex popped the question to Jane in 1962, the same year the Beatles released the debut single, Love Me Do. The pair planned to marry soon after, but their busy lives just got in the way. Your thoughts, Adam?
I'm glad they waited around so they didn't have to really buy gifts for their bridesmaids.
Right.
Because if they're bridesmaids or if his groomsmen or if he had any of them, they're all dead.
They're dead.
So I think that was on purpose. Maybe he's like, you're not really my friend, so I'm going to just wait you out.
Adam, is what you're saying this is all a ploy to save money?
I think this was definitely a ploy to save money.
Weddings are expensive.
Weddings are very expensive.
Yeah.
They're not worth it after everything you put into it, the time and everything. I mean, and you think for all that time to think about how you want your perfect wedding, you waited, this is it? Like just this little, like, you think you have so much time to think about ideas and so much creative thinking.
Right.
I think it was just a ploy to save money.
Ploy to save money. How long do you think it took both of them to walk down the aisle? I mean, at this point, it's a lot of time and medical assistance to walk down. You have to have a therapist, a physical therapist, walk them down the aisle.
Yeah. Do you deck out the oxygen machine that's coming down with them? Do you, you're seeing eye dog? Are they wearing a dress?
Right.
There's a lot going on there.
To consider here with the elderly.
And then did she make them wait till their wedding night to finally put out?
Right. Well, I want to point out something that both of these kind of people are like little nefarious because they were married to other people. And then they've got a divorce. And then instead of marrying, they just kind of let it simmer for a while. I mean, a long while.
Yeah, well, you see a lot of people.
Until they were geriatric.
You see a lot of people now doing it. I mean, it's got to be for tax reasons.
Do you think it's for tax reasons?
I mean, you see what's going on with the economy going on right now. You got to do what you do to save money. If we have to meet with an accountant and try to put our finances together to save. I mean, there's a lot. You could save a lot of money if you're in a joint. You file a joint.
I think they should bring civil unions back for people who aren't ready for marriage. Like. That was the halfway point. That was what they offered gay people. And gay people had to just roll it like, no, we want marriage. It's like, you could have been happy with a civil union, and that would have been fine.
Yeah.
You know, isn't a civil union like engagement? So like another step. Like a promise ring. Civil union. It's like there's not enough. It's like, boom, we're married. It's like, oh my God. You know, these people really took their time with it. But they were married to other people first and then slowly siphoned off into, there's something a little weird about that, I think.
Yeah.
It's like you're friends and you're both married to other people, but you're secretly attracted to each other, but not attracted enough to get married for 60 years.
It doesn't make sense to me. I think they also just knew they could make a story out of it. They're like, this will be good. We'll get a lot of Facebook
Adam,
likes
that's interesting. They did this for attention?
This is what you do to get in the news cycle.
Wow. 90 and 89. Wouldn't it be funny if they got a divorce a year later? 91. It's like, no. And there was a prenuptial agreement. One guy wouldn't get married.
Yeah, let's see that prenup.
The prenup.
That'd be great.
Let's go to the next one, Shannon. We got to move fast here. Elon Musk warns Italy will have no people if falling birth rates continue. This hits home for us here, Adam. We're Italians on this podcast. I didn't want to bring up the ethnic thing. I think you're an Irish.
Jew.
You're Jewish?
Jewish.
Wow.
I know.
Shocking.
I know.
Well, you're one of the chosens.
Yes.
And but we're Italians. We're heavily Italian on this podcast. And this is shocking news to us. Elon Musk, who's one of our most respected Tesla drivers, warns Italy will have no people if birth rates continue to fall. And Italy used to be teeming with people. I mean, we had to get out of there. The South was so poor, we were starving. That's why most of us came to this country. Billionaire Elon Musk has a simple message for Italy and other countries around the world who have reported falling birth rates in recent years. Have more babies or face extinction. Can Italians be extinct, Adam? That's the first question I have to put to you.
Italians cannot, because first of all, I don't think people allow it just because of the food. You know,
Yes.
obviously Italians
Yes.
probably the best food genre.
Right.
So I don't think anybody would just
Right.
the human population would never allow Italians to go out. It's totally going to stay relevant.
I hope so. I mean, our food can be repeated in recipes, and that's not fair.
Even
if you're
though-
just taking our recipes and then we die off.
Even if your kitchens no longer have Italians in them,
Yeah.
we still need the recipes, and we need to be, you know, Italians are always reworking it. They're
Yes.
putting like, hey, we're not going to put mozzarella on pizza. We're going to put burrata. Ooh. And put
Yes.
and put honey, salt, honey,
Right.
you know, some hot
We're
honey
always
on it.
reinventing ourselves.
So I think this is a wild take from Elon. It really, I mean, I think
It
he
is.
might just be bored on
Can
Twitter.
you think about? I want you to close your eyes, Adam, and think about a world without Italians. I want you to think deeply about it, and I want you to think about who's going to scream at somebody who gives you a parking ticket if they're in a plaza for too long. Who's going to do that? Somebody needs to come out and scream at a cop for giving a parking ticket.
You're right.
Who's going to talk with their hands loudly at a PTA? I mean, who's going to do this stuff? Who's going to force you to overeat when you've had enough? People don't understand that. No, you have more, or it hurts my feelings somehow. Who's going to yell for no reason and cause a stir? Who's going to defend Columbus? These statues are in danger of coming down if somebody doesn't loudly do it on a news broadcast during Columbus Day. I mean, this is the dangers that we're facing. Do you want to live in a world like that?
No, listen, if there's no Italians, I mean, that means you're damaging the economy. They're gonna damage no more velour, cashmere, you know, outfits, jumpsuits.
Who's going to buy the jumpsuits?
Who's gonna buy jumpsuits? That's there's a lot of people making that. They're creating jobs.
Who is going to complain about everything? I mean, we're the best. We're the best at complaining. Shannon, can we bring up the story? I mean, because this story is, we have to spend some more time on it.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. Musk expanded on his point in response to a tweet from cybersecurity research Andrea Stappa. She has a vowel in her last name. I don't know if that might be Italian. Who tweeted a chart from the Italian National Institute of Statistics showing birth rates in the country have steadily fallen. Damn, the more educated you get, the less children that you have. Stupid education. Italy will have no people if this trend continues. It's a fertility slump. We're in a fertility slump. I don't have any children.
They're saying, but from what they're saying, it seems like that rich people. You want me to read? I'm not going to read it, but they're saying, I saw this article. They're saying rich people don't have as many kids
Because they don't want somebody sponging off of them. I mean, our kids' gigantic sponges. It's like, I need this, I need this, I need college. It's like, okay, yeah, here's $100,000. That's for the first year now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like no one wants to deal with that. Is the issue that kids don't pull their own weight? Because Italians are big on that. You pull your own weight. Meanwhile, a baby is spitting up. It's like, well, how's this help me? How's this help the family?
Did you grow up middle class?
Yes, middle class.
Yeah. All your buddies you grew up with, are they all union guys?
No, I grew up in Ohio and then Florida. So no, I would say no. They're not the classic union.
I'm all yeah. All my buddies are all in unions.
Yeah.
Iron, you know, down at the port,
right?
You know, and all that stuff. So,
that's another good point. Without the Italians, how is there going to be a mafia?
Yeah.
I mean, who's gonna shake these unions down for money?
There's a lot. Who's gonna make the movies? Who's gonna say?
I know. I mean, this is a shame. We're losing Italians.
This is not right. It's not right.
Shannon and Natalie, both Italian women with no kids, so they're part of the problem also. Are you guys, after reading this article, are you thinking about procreating?
No, I think my time is up. So this may be on.
Is that a woman thing? Time's up? Your time is up, Shannon.
Yeah, I turned 30 in 2 weeks from today. In 2 weeks from today, I turned 40.
You turned 40.
Yeah, so I think my time is up. Maybe Natalie though.
Natalie, are you our only hope for the future?
Potentially, yeah. I think I still got time.
Do you want them?
Sure, potentially.
Do you want these kids? Potentially is such a loaded word.
Yeah.
And even
right
if we
now,
do,
no. In the future,
we all say in the future,
exactly.
Natalie. That's an easy cop out. And
Right when Italy needs it the most, I'll come through.
thank you. But do you think the baby formula crisis is keeping people from having children? Because even if we have a bunch of children, there's not going to be enough baby formula for them, which in Italian terms is sauce. All right, I don't know the answers. I'm very depressed that my ethnicity is going to be extinct. Italians are in danger of being extinct.
That's why they're actually doing the Jersey Shore remake now. You hear about this? They're not. The Jersey Shore cast is actually the original Jersey Shore cast is pissed that MTV is now making a Jersey Shore with a new cast.
With Albanians?
Albanians probably. They say they're Italian, but they're not. You know. Albanians
are the
came
new
out
Italian. They're tough.
They're tough.
They're tough guys.
Albanians came out only not that long ago. They all of a sudden became really more popular ever since the Kardashians. All of a sudden like, oh wait, there's different type of Italians
Those
out
are
there?
Armenians, I think.
Well, they're Armenians, but there's Armenians, there's Albanians, but
Yeah.
Albanians are they're
Very tough.
strong,
Very tough. They're coming from a war-torn place, so they come over here and they're very
I've met some great Albanians, but they could party and they're also, I think connected.
Yes, they have their own mob.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's more violent.
definitely more violent.
Yeah.
The Italian mob is more just nice. They kind of.
Well, there's no more killing in the Italian mob.
No.
They put a thing on. It's no one wants to go to prison for 30 years, so they just put out a memo to the families no more killing. It's just you just put a guy on a shelf, which means you ignore him. I guess we're into. I guess the cold shoulder has replaced murder.
Yeah,
in the
I guess
mafia.
the self-help movement has really made.
I like the way the Jews did it. You guys just evolved out of it.
Yeah,
you guys were heavy into it.
No one
in the 20s,
people
30s.
don't talk about the Jew mafia.
They don't talk about it because you guys covered it up nicely, and now it's I'm a doctor. It's yeah, but what about your grandfather, Lepke Buckholter?
Ooh, Lepke,
Yeah.
Oh, what'd he do? Oh, yeah, he was in the army. What'd he do?
No, he was.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about it. It's crazy.
No stories. Really? Were you in the army?
Yeah.
Nah.
Italians are being phased out, and this podcast is our last hope to stop it. Maybe this podcast is a record of when we were alive and kicking, since we got a no from Shannon, a no from me, and a soft maybe from Natalie. Last one, Adam, and we'll have you out of here.
So what you gotta do?
Losing weight helps big guys double their sperm counts, study says, and maybe this is because Italians are fat, well, that's why we're not having kids.
Good.
Sausage and peppers instead of... Losing weight helps big guys double their sperm counts. Adam, do you want kids?
I don't. I think I drink enough Mountain Dew. So I don't know.
What does Mountain Dew do?
Mountain Dew. Do you remember the Yellow 5?
Mm-mm.
Yellow 5 apparently was it was basically kill your sperm count.
Oh.
So
you don't even know if you can.
Yeah. I drank a lot of Mountain. That was the thing when we were younger. We was always I drink tons of Mountain Dew. Then you can't get a girl pregnant. But I'm I'm fucking 9.
Right.
I don't think that's really an issue at this point.
Maybe it was maybe you developed young.
Yeah.
Getting girls pregnant at 9. The battle of the bulge has never been more potent, according to new research that links weight loss with amped up sperm count. Scientists from the University of Copenhagen in Denmark tracked 56 men between the ages of 18 and 65 with body mass indices, also known as BMIs, ranging from 32 to 43, well above the healthy range of between 18.5 to 24.9. All case studies were placed on a strict 800 calorie a day diet. By the end of the 8-week timeline, sperm counts swam up 41% in men who dropped at least 8 pounds. The research also indicates that all the men who kept the weight off, or at least a year, doubled their seed tally, according to the new study. That's pretty amazing. It was surprising to us that such a big improvement can be shown in the semen quality in connection with weight loss. It's unreal. I think
makes
that's a great
sense.
thing. Well, does it? I mean, your body's not digesting the food, so it can... Your body's a machine, and if it's going to focus on digesting food and storing fat, then it's not going to be making sperm.
Exactly.
Your body can't multitask. It can't
No.
make sperm and digest food at the same time.
Your body, it takes a lot of your body.
Is it Wonderland?
There you go. I was waiting for that, Shannon. Your body it takes up a lot of energy to digest your food. I mean, that's essentially what that's what your stomach does. It doesn't have to really work as hard because it's not burning as much, so then
Right.
you could focus on the other stuff, which
Right.
is your reproductive
Building sperm.
system. Testosterone.
Yeah. Test. Testosterone. Are you when you go into the gym, are you trying to lose weight or are you trying to
I am
lean up?
When I'm in the gym, I'm just trying to put on strength. When I'm home, I'm trying to just eat healthy. Would I say I'm trying to lose weight? I probably could lose, about a few pounds of fat, but I'm always trying to put on muscle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, I'm always trying to burn fat and build muscle. I'm not it's not my goal. I'm actually at a good weight right now for me. I lost a few. I'm actually doing a cleanse as we speak.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Is that a fast?
Not
What's a cleanse?
essentially.
Cleanse
I
is
met
a liquid fast.
So it's like a week cleanse. This comic that we know, his sister is a nutritionist. I just got my physical, and I ran into her and I was like, "Hey, would you want to go through my physical and tell me what you think through my blood work?" She went through my blood work, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll let you know." And I said, "Well," she's like, "What's your goals?" I said, "I want to look good naked. I want to put on muscle. I would love to lose a few pounds, just kind of looks trim." And she's like, "Okay." So basically, I'm taking these shakes, 2 shakes a day, eat all vegetables during the day, and then at night just protein and vegetables.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty disciplined.
I've never done it ever in my life, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do it this week. And so far, it's actually been pretty decent. I got nervous about energy. I don't want my energy to go down.
Yeah.
As long as I stay hydrated, I'm pretty well and get a decent amount of sleep. So I'm
Right.
not. It's not terrible, but I've definitely lost weight.
Do you think your sperm count is up?
Sperm count might
Because
be
there's
up,
not-
but sex
there's
drive
no-
is down.
Your sex drive is down?
Yeah. I just was like, you don't feel. You know what? I'd say it's about good because when I eat red meat, I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel strong.
Yeah, look out, women.
Yeah, watch out.
Right.
I'm ready to go. I'm like a lion. Go nuts.
The end of this article actually says that, contrary to this, a separate study says that males who eat too much meat are raising the risk of becoming infertile, and high-protein diets plunged men's testosterone levels by 37%.
Wow. Oh, I'm screwed.
Wow. That was a little fact at the end
now
that
you
just ruined our
now-
night.
The end
You
of
just-
that the same
yeah.
article.
Shannon, you just
Wow.
you just changed. I think I'm done with this fast.
Yeah,
I think I
done
might
with
be
the
done with
fast.
the diet I was trying
Well,
to
if you're
do.
not going to have kids anyway, it doesn't matter. That's good.
No, also you're eating vegetables all day. That's good.
No, I got vegetables in me, but wow, Shannon, just man,
Shannon.
just changed my life right now. And it's this type of podcast.
I mean, this is the
wasn't expecting
podcast.
it.
It's truth, and we can't escape it. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Thanks for
I appreciate
having me, Mike.
having
I
you.
appreciate
And
it,
when
bud.
you come back to the regular gym and you're not at your secret celebrity gym, I look forward to seeing you again.
Yes, I would love to work out with
It's
you.
great. We'll
Great
get
to
a
s-
workout in
That'd be great.
for our sperm count to get up
Exactly.
because Italians are going extinct. That's the podcast, guys. For Shannon, for Natalie, for our guest, Adam Glyn. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Guys, thank you for listening to Mike Vecchione Investigates. And if you go to gasdigitalnetwork.com and use promo code MBI, you will get 1 week free. That's gasdigitalnetwork.com, promo code MBI, you will get 1 week free. Thank you again for listening to Mike Vecchione Investigates on the Gas Digital Network.